Disney's live action The Little Mermaid comes out this week, starring Halle Bailey and directed by Rob Marshall. I got my non-spoiler review for it right after this. Hey everyone, it's the Outlaw John Rocha here with my non-spoiler review of The Little Mermaid, this brand new live-action adaptation of the animated classic there from the 1980s. This one directed by Rob Marshall, a director who I've grown to love and enjoy. And then they brought in David Magee here to be the writer for this one as well. David Magee, who has written some fantastic films that I've enjoyed as well, like Finding Neverland, A Man Called Otto, which recently came out a few months ago, and Mary Poppins Returns as well, in Life of Pi. So certainly both of these gentlemen having a lot of credibility coming in to take over here to do a live action version of The Little Mermaid. But what's the big controversy? Halle Bailey, the casting of Halle Bailey, right? A lot of people upset about this. You saw it online, you saw the fervor, but I didn't care about it because, like, can you deliver in a performance here to bring this classic back to life in a new and interesting way? And I'll tell you what I thought about how she did in just a little bit, but I remind you all to please subscribe to the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you see when we're dropping all the content we do here on the Outlaw Nation channel, and head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/John Rocha, and see if there's a tier that works for you in supporting all we do here on the Outlaw Nation. So I will start off the bat by telling you that I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I did not anticipate that this would be one of my favorite films of the year so far, but damn if it isn't. I went in there with the arms folded, my eyebrow cocked a little bit, wondering if this was actually going to work for me, wondering if I was even the audience for something like this, but I found myself getting totally swept up into this film, enjoying the changes, enjoying the new songs for the most part, and I really enjoyed the pacing of the movie as well as it got to everything. It didn't rush to where it was trying to get to. It established the underwater world with King Triton and his daughters, with Ariel as well, the way she's the rebellious daughter, and then when Prince Eric comes into the mix, establishing her relationship with Prince Eric and his relationship with his family on land, establishing his desire for adventure and fun, but also doing the right thing. So you do a nice job establishing the on-land world and establishing the underwater world before you dive into the story too deeply. So you have that as a foundation to go forward with and use that as a basis for your judgment of what's going on here. Rob Marshall does a fantastic job with this, creating his own magic. I liken it to The Jungle Book. I thought The Jungle Book did a really nice job adapting the animated version into a live-action version under Jon Favreau's direction, and I feel like this is in league with that more so than Beauty and the Beast or The Lion King, and I appreciated that as well. Let's get into the things that I like besides Rob Marshall's direction. The acting. Halle Bailey knocks it out of the park. This is a star in the making. What a debut performance. She comes in, she has the young rebelliousness, but she's very determined. You really connect with her because there's an honesty to her performance, a realness to her performance that you can feel and sense as you're watching the movie, and the way she's defending the humans, the way she wants to explore the human world. There's a real connection you can have if you're one of those people that has gone through that at that stage in your life when your parents are telling you not to hang out with that person or not to go to that place or not to talk to those people. There's a natural desire to want to talk to because you want to find out for yourself. You want to know if it's true or not, and certainly her defense of the humans, her desire to get to know the humans, I think speaks volumes. And you can't talk about just the acting with Halle Bailey, of course, as Ariel. You got to talk about her singing. Does she do a great job singing these classic songs and contributing to the new ones? Yes, she 100% does. She puts her own spin on these songs, her own interpretation, her own version that fits for this version of The Little Mermaid, and I think she does a wonderful job. Now, as the acting for the rest of the cast, I thought Daveed Diggs did a wonderful job as well as Sebastian. A nice, new, interesting Sebastian. His singing of the songs works so well. His contentious relationship with King Triton is fantastic to see. And the design of Sebastian didn't bother me. I know that bothered some of you all. It doesn't bother me. You get past it really quickly and you're good to go. Jacob Tremblay as Flounder does a really nice job, evoking the essence of Flounder from the original film. But I think Javier Bardem is a standout in this movie because that King Triton in the first film, it's King Triton. It's like Hercules' dad. You kind of connect those things. You get the standard Disney dad, but there's a real pathos that Javier brings to this role here in the live action version, a real care, a love for his daughter. Not that isn't there in the original, but there's something more going on. There's more levels here that Javier is bringing to this character. You can sense his frustration, his anger, his fear, and all of that comes through really powerfully. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula is such an interesting character. I think she grows into the role as the film goes along, and I would have liked to have seen more of her after we really get her established in the film. It takes a while to establish her, but once she gets going, she is a great presence, does a wonderful job, understands walking that line between comedy and villainy, and also makes you feel sympathetic for her because of this unknown thing that happened between her and Triton. Certainly Melissa doing a wonderful job singing the songs that she sings, really powerful renditions of those songs. Awkwafina, I think she got better as the film goes along, and I'll say this, some of you might get mad, but I like the new song that Lin-Manuel Miranda puts in the film, and I think Awkwafina does a great job. She's the perfect voice to sing that song. And JONAH HAUER-KING does a nice job as Prince Eric as well. He's not going to take away from Halle Bailey, so they cast this correctly. Definitely establish his own Prince Eric, but it isn't so much so that you're forgetting about Halle Bailey as Ariel. Their chemistry is really sweet. You actually do buy their chemistry as the film goes along. Now, as far as the visuals here are stunning. I mean, I got to give some love here to the cinematographer, Dion Beebe, who does a wonderful job here, bringing the visuals out that you enjoy from the animated film here into a new life, live action wise. And of course, this is 30 minutes longer, so there's much more to work with here to really establish the kingdom, establish the scenes out on the water in the ships, establish the underworld kingdom, establish Ursula's lair, establish all this stuff. And I think the cinematography here is just so wonderfully done. I also think the visuals when they do the songs are really well done here and choreographed. There's some fantastic sequences, especially Kiss the Girl. Part of Your World is certainly the show-stopping one, but Kiss the Girl is that one that is you have to get note perfect to really get the vibe and establish the chemistry here between Eric and Ariel, and I think they do a wonderful job. Now, some of the things that did bother me about the movie, I don't think they established her desire to be with Eric as strongly initially as they could have. As the film goes along, you really buy into them as a couple and the chemistry and the connections that they have, but I would like to have seen the initial desire to be with him be a little bit stronger. And I get it, it's 2023, you want to show that it's not just about a boy, that she really wanted to kind of walk her own path and do her own thing, be an independent young woman, but I think you could have spent just as much time establishing her connection to Eric initially. And I will say this, as I said earlier, I would have liked to have seen more of Ursula. You had 30 extra minutes, let's have a little more Ursula. Nowadays, you want to know why certain people are doing the things they're doing. You can't give us one-dimensional villains anymore. And look, Melissa does a great job giving dimensions to Ursula, but I would have liked to have seen reasons for why. I'd like to have seen a little bit more to establish her, a little more of the backstory, so you can see why she's employing this tactics. It's got to have more reason behind it, more motivation behind it, and I would have liked to have seen that. All right, well, overall, I give the film 4.25 cowboy hats out of 5 cowboy hats. Halle Bailey is a star here and delivers a fantastic debut performance full of wonder, tenderness, and youthful determination, with a voice that gives new life to these classic songs and a couple of new ones too. And it certainly has live action versions of some classic moments from the animated original, but it confidently walks its own path, with Rob Marshall directing a nuanced, captivating, and genuinely touching film that creates a new magic of its own. And I didn't feel the runtime of this one for one moment. I highly recommend this version of Little Mermaid, and it's definitely one you should go see with your kids as well if you got them. And let me know what you think about it down in the comments section below. Let me know what your kids thought about it as well in the comments section below. Hit a like on this video, share it on your social media, and of course, more than anything else, please subscribe to the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you see when we're dropping all the content we do here on the Outlaw Nation channel, and head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/John Rocha, and see if there's a tier that works for you in supporting all we do here on the Outlaw Nation. All right, y'all, take care of yourselves. Be well. The Little Mermaid comes out this weekend, and I'll talk to you next time with a brand new non-spoiler review here on the Outlaw Nation.